G'day folks, Okidoke here with another compact review. Today I'm going to be reviewing the author Nicci French, who of course is the writing duo of Nicci Gerard and her husband Sean French. Be advised, there could be some possible spoilers in this review. Nicci French have written about 20 books and I've read about 18 of those. They're all these psychological crime thriller type books. The first one I read about 13 years ago was Beneath the Skin. It really captivated me and I've been reading them ever since, working my way through them. And eventually, after their standalone books, which I found quite gripping and thrilling to read, just like they say on these front covers, truly chilling, does not miss a beat as it courses towards its startling denouement. That's a good word. But that's the sort of stuff that they write about, these books. Anyway, I got through those and eventually worked my way to their Freda Klein series, which that's their last 8 books have all been that series. As I read their books, I try to analyse which one of the two are writing what part of the book, trying to work out how their minds work. Not sure if I've ever got that right, but sometimes you can see the way the chapters are broken up, how two different people may have been writing them. That's my opinion anyway. I can't really criticise any of their books. They're so well written. They just flow easily from chapter to chapter. Often I'm trying to guess the plot and who the villain is. Sometimes I'm trying to work out if there even is a villain. Like in Land of the Living. That one really kept me going right to the end. I'm not going to spoil it for you, but very intriguing to work out really what was going on there. I had a few theories, but don't know, wasn't quite proven right in the end. I wanted to mention Complicit because it's written in an interesting way too. From chapter to chapter, it's written before and after an event that's occurred. Initially I thought that might have been a bit irritating, but I just sort of went with the flow and it all came together really well and I really enjoyed it. The characters in their books are really good. With all their quirky ways, some of them are really admirable, some of them are really irritating, like Nina Landry in Losing You. She had a daughter that went missing and she really irritated the police in that investigation. Irritated me as well. And there's other characters like Hal Bradshaw, a really pompous git of a psychoanalyst in the Freda Klein series. He's a real pain in the butt to Freda Klein herself, but the chief of police just loves him and can't say enough good things about him. But he's one of those characters that you really like to hate. The Freda Klein series works really well. And there's a vengeful nemesis in there that keeps invading Freda Klein's life. She's a psychotherapist herself. He's an intriguing nemesis, finds his way in every book. And there's sometimes you think, oh, I wish he'd make an appearance so he could become the vigilante in a particular case. Another thing with the Freda Klein series is that the authors have introduced this concept of secret rivers. They're just these hidden rivers that are throughout London. And just learning about how they secretly flow through London, through the underground, is quite interesting. I like books to ring true, and Nicci French's books really achieve that. But there was a point in Thursday's Child that made me ask them a question, which they promptly replied, as a matter of fact, and they satisfied my curiosity. You may or may not even notice it, but I'm a bit of a picky reader, and sometimes these things sort of, stand out to me. But in that conversation with the author, they did mention themselves that they spent a lot of time in the last 8 or 9 years walking along the routes of those secret rivers, and that they felt actually a little bit haunted by them. So that was a nice little aspect to their books anyway. I generally rate Nicci French's books an 8 or a 9 out of 10. That's how much I really like them. I can't really put them down, they're so well written. Often I'll go to bed and think I'll just read one chapter and later on, I'm forcing myself to put the book down after I realise it's several hours after midnight. But as the notable British poet and novelist Sophie Hannon writes on the front of Saturday Requiem, sophisticated, gripping, addictive. That's exactly how it is. All their books are like that. Other notable comments here. Brilliantly crafted by the Daily Mirror, addictive, magnificent, excellent, nail-biting, remarkable, menacing, ingenious. Yeah, all those things and more. These books are just so easy to read, and you just can't put them down, as I said already. If I had to recommend any of their books, I would either say start with the Freda Klein series, which is from Blue Monday, or go back to the original standalone books and start with The Memory Game. I read that as part of this omnibus some years ago. It's their first book written back in 1997. So addictive, I just couldn't put the books down. I'm sure you'll like them.